Hey friends, welcome back. And welcome to this week's reading vlog. I have so many exciting things to share with you this week. That involves the books that we're reading, that involves my pottery, because I finally have some finished pieces in my car and I cannot wait to show you. They look so good. I'm so excited. If you don't know, I've been taking an 8-week pottery course and I just loved ceramics so much when I was in high school, and I finally decided to pay for an actual class as an adult, and it is the greatest thing that I've ever done. I love it so much. I'm literally obsessed, and I cannot wait to show you some of my finished mugs. So stay tuned for that. But for now, hi, welcome to Tuesday. As per usual, I just got out of my ceramics class, so that's why I'm still really like hype on it. I just feel so good after I leave, and it's the best. It's the best. And also, as per usual, we are at the local coffee shop. I'm going to stop and get some bread, some little like minor kitchen items. I hope they have pine nuts because we got basil from the farmer's market this past weekend, and we need to do something with it. We want to make a, what's it called? Basil, pine nuts, pesto. We want to make a pesto with it. So I'm hoping that they have pine nuts. After I run in there and then get some coffee, I plan on going back home. The Booker Prize shortlist is actually announced today, and I think that I'm going to film an exclusive video for my Patreon with Caleb and I both reacting. I want to see what he would have predicted, knowing nothing about any of the books. I just want him to like blind guess, and then I'm going to guess based on just like the small data that I have, and I want to see who gets the most correct. I think that would be fun. But I think I still have like 4 hours or so before they announce them. I don't know what time, but it's sometime today, so I want to do that. But other than that, I think I'm just gonna read. I'm reading Endling by Maria Reva, and I'm loving it. I really am. More on that later though. Once I have the book and we're like a little bit more cozy, we'll chat, we'll FaceTime again, I promise. But for now, let's go grab those couple of things. I mostly just wanted to say, hey, what's up? Welcome to the vlog. So excited and grateful to have you here. Let's go. Okay, hi, we made it back home. Amelia's did not have pine nuts, sad to say, but they did have a little sandwich and some pimento cheese that Caleb and I split for lunch, which was phenomenal. Coffee is now in a fun fall glass as per usual. I'm going to show you the ceramics that I was able to bring home today, which I'm very excited about it. I'm going to show you from like least good to like my favorites. The first thing that I threw was like a little pitcher that is actually kind of cute. Like it's for like creamer. Neither of us use creamer, but this is just what ended up happening. The handle is awful. It's really bad, and it's actually so cute to see where I already started. So the functionality of the pitcher, I'm actually curious if it would pour good. Can you see from there? Let's see. Wow, that's a solid pour. So now if anyone needs a creamer at our house, we can supply the vessel that it can go in. I also they were supposed to be little espresso mugs, but I think that they're like way too small. So they're just gonna be like shot glasses now. They're just like little baby, like, I don't know, shot glasses with my name in the back, of course, because you have to label your pottery. I'm gonna get a stamp eventually, but so far I've just been doing like the old school S, which is my favorite thing. But yeah, this was, I think, like black and gray glaze, like mixed together, like a single dunk and then a dunk in a different color. I don't know, it's fine. I was just wondering what that color combo would look like, and I'm not like super happy about it, but I'm also like not mad about it. Then the next handle, after that terrible pitcher handle, after this one, I tried again and we made like a little like D handle. This yellow was to die for. It's very cute. You can see the progression, right? Because this one is still, I think, a little bit too thin, but the handle, way better. It doesn't feel like as sturdy as my next ones. I'm not mad about this one. I think it's still cute. It's fun to see the progression, because next are my two favorite mugs, and I'm so excited about them. So this one is my favorite style of mug, like a chunky handle. Wow, love. This was supposed to be a checker pattern. You can kind of see that it's like vaguely like light checkered. I have to do some research and see what to do differently. Like I know I could have taped it off and like individually painted the individual blocks with like a paintbrush and glaze, but instead I dunked the whole thing in yellow, and then I did wax resist in a checkered pattern, so that's where like the yellow is, so that the new second dunk of the orange would not adhere to where the wax was. So I thought it would turn out a little bit better, but I also like, I'm not mad about it because it still is cute. And I'm really proud of it. It's a really good thickness. It's a great mug. And then the final one, ooh, this is even prettier in, wow. It's even prettier in the sunlight. I hadn't seen it yet in the sun, wow. Okay, so this was the one that if you are caught up on my vlogs, I talked about how I was making one that kind of looked like a cauldron, and I was gonna like do like a dark color to add to the spooky vibes. And look at her. Oh, look at her. And it's like a little whimsy handle, kind of just like a single finger thing. Wow, absolutely iconic. I love it so much. And in the sun, let me actually show you, because in the sun, it has like way more variation and like almost like some purple. Wow. Oh my God, that's so pretty. Wow, that's absolutely stunning. I love her, Your Honor. But then today I trimmed 2 bowls, and then I did what's called sgraffito, which is I trimmed it on the wheel, then did an underglaze, and then scratched off bits of that glaze to make a design. Now that'll go through the kiln, and then next week I'll put a clear coat on it and it'll go through the kiln again. But this is what those looked like. I did sort of like a matching set situation. The blue and green will be much prettier after it's fired. I know they look a little bit like, I don't know, neon, but they won't look like that afterwards. The test colors that they gave us, like they looked really pretty. So I don't know, I thought it was just kind of cute. I just wanted to try sgraffito and just like understand how it worked, and I'm so glad I did. Then on one of the mugs, I did like a striped pattern, and I dunked it in a blue and then I think a gray or something, and it's going to kind of look like a blue striped PJ pant is what the vibe was. Then the taller mug, I just sort of like hand painted a bunch of like doodles. I just think it's gonna turn out kind of cute. I'm excited. I'm excited to see what it looks like. Most of these things that I'm doing, I'm doing because I'm curious of what it's gonna look like. Like I just wanna see what's gonna happen because I know that I'll learn from every single thing, and it's been fun. I think that's it though. Oh, there was one other mug that I am not going to attach a handle on. I just did a little like thumb divot in it. And I did do an underglaze thing on that today, but I'll show you what that one looks like next week. Also excited about it. But Caleb just finished up some work. Yeah, you're free. Yay. We are probably going to take Avi for a walk, and then Caleb is going to humor me and film that Booker Prize video. So other than that for the day, I do plan on reading, which let me grab the book. 1 second. I am in the middle of Endling by Maria Reva. This is, well, it's at least on the Booker Prize long list. This is one of my predictions. I think it will be on the short list, but we'll see, I guess, in like 20 minutes. Endling is a very like chaotic story. We're following a main character who basically lives in a mobile lab, and she is going across the world, mostly across Ukraine, trying to save snails and like get them to breed and prevent them from going endangered, basically. And in order to fund her lab and her lifestyle, much to her parents' chagrin, she basically gets involved in this like company that does mail order brides. And it says in here, it's actually kind of silly, it says that the men that are coming to Ukraine are looking for women who are untainted by feminism, which is so funny. So that's one of our main characters, that's Yeva. And then we have Nastia and her sister Solomia. They're both involved in that company as well. However, they have like an ulterior motive. Their mom went missing way back in the day, and they're trying to uncover basically what happened because their mom was involved in like fierce activism against these romance tours. So now they have this major plan to like kidnap a bunch of these bachelors. And it says, so begins a journey of a lifetime across a country on the brink of war, 3 angry women, a truck full of kidnapped bachelors, and Lefty, a last of his kind snail with one final shot of perpetuating his species. And it's been such an interesting way of storytelling because we are swapping between these point of views of these women, but also we're getting a point of view from one of the bachelors who is like trapped inside the lab. The audiobook is really, really phenomenal if you're looking for an audiobook recommendation. I am having a really good time. I think the writing is incredible. I think that her storytelling is really interesting. She actually had to have like a break within like the middle of the narrative because when she started writing this book, it was like prior to 2022 when Russia invaded Ukraine. And then while that was happening, she was still trying to write this book, which was understandably very difficult. And there was something that I saw online. It says, Reva's objective shifts from more traditional narrative to something that reflects the impossible task of fully capturing war, embracing delirium and confusion to make her point, which I think she is doing so well because we are following this story of these women and these men, but there are also like breaks from the real life. And she has like correspondence with her editor, who her editor is telling her that like she should really change the story because this is a little bit too on the nose right now. Maybe we should circle back to the story later. And she's like, no, like the story still needs to be told. And it's just a really interesting way to go about the story and still push forward in the time that it might be difficult, but at the same time, it doesn't mean that it shouldn't continue to happen. So I'm excited to see where it goes. It is a book that I am thinking about constantly when I'm not reading it. So I do plan on finishing this over the next couple days. Probably not tonight, but I work the next 2 days at the hospital, and I think that if I do get lunch breaks, I will be able to read at least a little bit over the next couple days. So hopefully on Friday, because it's Tuesday right now, so I work Wednesday, Thursday. So hopefully on Friday, I will have a final update on this book for you. I am also reading Royal Assassin by Robin Hobb. I started this last week. I'm still only on page 41, but this is my like sit down and focus book, where this one I can also just read it if I'm like doing chores and walking Avi or anything like that. So I will also be reading Royal Assassin this week, which I'm very excited about. It's very fun to be back in a Robin Hobb world. So these two for sure will be getting read. I don't know what will happen otherwise. I always reserve the right to mood read, so we'll see what happens. But yeah, I literally couldn't be happier about my little ceramics progress. And I'm very excited to show you in next week what else I did. I'm excited to see if the Sgraffito worked. I just can't wait. It's so exciting. So like I said, we're gonna go probably walk Avi and then film an exclusive video for my Patreon. I will also be getting some pages in. Oh, I will also be playing Animal Crossing because I did restart my island and I'm having a great time, okay? That is another reason that I don't know what's gonna happen this week, because I'm kind of sucked back into the world, so.
Opening, closing, all in one day. Blue sky, then violent rain. Feeling the dirt shift, sensing the change. The dog has been shaken outside of the grave. Opening, closing, statements or phrase. Radio channels, curses or praise. News and instruction, omits for the pain. Bad conditions break.
Hi, hello. Happy Friday to those who celebrate. It's been a rough day. It's been a rough day. It's now like 1 p.m. in the afternoon on Friday. I was fighting for my life all morning. I've actually been fighting for my life for a couple of days. I worked at the hospital the last 2 days. The shifts were fine. They were fine. I'm being dramatic in that sense, but in a reading sense, I still haven't finished Endling. I probably have like another 150 pages or so. I'm a little past halfway. I think I have 60% of it done. I didn't even get a break on Wednesday. I was so busy. And then yesterday, I did get a break, and I think I read like 15 pages or so. So, you know, better than nothing, but it's definitely not where I wanted to be by now, which is fine. It happens. Days are busy. Sometimes things don't get done. And then I think on Tuesday night, the night before I worked that 2 in a row, I could have read more before bed, but instead I actually wrote almost like 700 words or something, which I was happy about. So I decided to sacrifice pages for word count, and I'm super happy about that. I'm not mad. But hi, welcome to Friday. I had an absolute killer migraine up until like 11:45. Like I almost had to cancel sprints. I'm doing sprints with my Patreon right now. Thankfully, the meds and the laying with the compressed ice hat over my eyes all morning helped. Like it was bad enough to where I thought I was going to throw up multiple times. But I do feel better, and I am happy, obviously, about that. So I hope that we are now like back in business for this reading vlog, at least mildly. I don't know how many pages are going to get read today. During sprints right now, I think I need to do some editing because tomorrow is actually Avi's gotcha day. So we're going to take her for a hike in the morning. We're going to try to make her like a little doggy cake, and it's going to be really cute. We're just going to try to spend the day with her, you know, give her favorite things, do her favorite things with her, because she deserves it. She's like 10 and a half. She might be 11. When we adopted her, they didn't know her like exact age, but we know that when we got her, she was around 2.5. So she's like probably 10 and a half or 11. And oh my goodness. So tomorrow is Avi's day. That's what tomorrow is. That being said, I want to be like pretty present tomorrow and just kind of hang out with her and Caleb. So I want to get like as much work done today as I possibly can. I do foresee Sunday being a pretty big reading day for me, which will be nice. But first things first is finishing Sunday's video before Sunday. So I just actually ordered some groceries and all the ingredients that we need to make Avi's cake. I have food in my belly now, which is amazing. I'm going to have a little energy drink, which I know maybe not be the best idea, but I feel fine. And it's witch's brew and it sounds super tasty. So that's what I'm gonna do, okay? Fight me about it. I could make a pumpkin spice latte because I do have that syrup that I made in the last vlog. I kind of want something like carbonated though. I'm gonna stick with my witch's brew. In reading terms, Endling is still going well. Caleb and I did film that video for reacting to the Booker's Prize shortlist. And it was actually so much fun. I'm so glad that I knew he would be down to do it, but I'm so glad that like we did it. So I just have to like finish uploading that for my Patreon. That's going to be their exclusive video this weekend. Yeah, and Endling isn't on the shortlist, which I'm it's not that I'm super surprised about it, but I am a little bit surprised about it. I am enjoying this one the most out of all of the Booker Prize books that I have read. And it's interesting because I have read 3 of the 6 that are on the shortlist, which, you know, my taste is impeccable. However, one of them was Flesh, which I read in last week's video. Didn't really love it that much. And then I read Audition, which I think I finished in the beginning of this video. Did I? If not, then at the very end of last video. I don't know. I can't keep my week straight anymore. And then Flashlight by Susan Choi, I actually read like a while ago. And I like that one. I'm surprised structurally that one is going forward, just because I don't think that it has that like rereadability, which is what the Booker Prize is for. Like it's trying to find like the new classics. And that means that they try to find books that are worthy of being reread multiple times and you can glean something different from it every single time. And I feel like Flashlight is a little bit more straightforward. Like Audition by Katie Kitamura makes sense that it went forward into the shortlist for sure. But Flashlight by Susan Choi and Flesh by David Saloy, I'm surprised that both of those are going forward, to be completely honest. Flashlight is an amazing book. I really liked it, but I, again, don't really see it being like rereadable multiple times. And Flesh, I don't think that it was very good. Like, it was fine, but another book that I just feel really lukewarm about. So I don't know. The results are interesting. One book that I do plan on reading is Sea Scraper by Benjamin Wood. I do plan on reading that book. Caleb said that was the one that was most interesting to him as well. That one didn't move forward. And in the comments of the Booker Prize shortlist announcement, so many people were like up in arms that Sea Scraper didn't move forward. So I think that's interesting, and I do still plan on reading that one sometime soon. Otherwise, I think Sea Scraper after Endling was the last one that I was going to read from the Booker Prize long list. I don't know if I'm super interested in the other books that are on the short list. I might give them a shot, but one of them is like 800 pages long, and that's crazy. Oh, in other words, our garbage can got stolen. So like, what do? We had to file like a police report in order to get a new can to us, I think for free. If you don't file a police report, then you have to pay like $65, which like, yeah, that's not a whole bunch of money, but like that's a lot of money, you know, like why would I pay $65 if I don't have to? We don't know where it went. We don't know what happened. It's just like, okay, here's your report number and submit a request for a new bin. So we did, and you know, it's going to be 2 weeks. 2 weeks. So that's fun. You know, just another day in the life. I don't want to edit. I don't want to. I want to play Animal Crossing. I want to read Endling, but I have to do a little bit of work, unfortunately. I do. So that's what I'm going to go do. Welcome to Friday. I don't know how often I'm going to come back on and update today, just because that's what we're doing. I'm going to be editing. I don't know. Caleb is working until probably 4 or 5. So like, I only have a couple hours to my lonesome to edit and do all of my hobbies. I have so many things that I want to do. I like to do too many things. I have too many interests. But that being said, yeah, happy weekend. I'm going to caffeinate and do some work, and I'll be back later.
In this strange weather, a time to be alive.
It's now 11 p.m. It's Friday night, you know? So we took a load off. We ordered some Thai food. It was absolutely phenomenal. And I did finally just finish editing like 90% of the video for Sunday. So I feel good. I mean, I wish I didn't have to spend so much time today editing, because that meant that I didn't get to write or read or do anything else. But, you know, that's what comes with posting these long form weekly vlogs. Like I have to spend a day editing. I love being able to put these longer vlogs out because it is sort of a labor of love. Like I do love that aspect of it. I like being able to connect with you guys a little bit more and, you know, share even more than I have been in the past. But the take or the give, or however you want to look at it, is that I don't really have time to read or write or do any of my personal hobbies during the days that I have to spend editing, which is fine. You know, it is what it is. I might try to read a couple pages before I fall asleep of Endling, but I honestly, I don't know how that's gonna go because I'm kind of tired. I'm pretty sleepy, honestly. I'm probably just gonna lay down. Let's be completely honest. Let's be so for real with ourselves. I am happy with the vlog for this week though, so that's exciting. I'm excited to post that. Tomorrow is Avi's gotcha day, as previously discussed. If you don't know Avi, she's our rescue dog. I got some ingredients to make a dog safe cake for her tomorrow, so Caleb and I are gonna make a cake together, and I'm literally so excited. We're gonna take her to one of our local like dog boutiques, and she's gonna pick out a toy. We're gonna get some like gourmet biscuits to put on top of the cake, and then on Sunday we've decided to split up the celebrations all weekend. So we're gonna go on a hike on Sunday morning, and tomorrow we're gonna just spend the day like out on the porch, out in the park, and also with the cake. So I'm really excited. I don't know how much I'll vlog. We'll kind of play it by ear a little bit, but I do plan on getting some pages in this weekend, but also like it's my daughter's day, you know? So we'll see what happens. I am just gonna, have a good weekend, live in the moment. If I vlog, I vlog. If I read, I read. And if I don't, I don't. Regardless, at the very least, I had good sprints with my Patreon today and, got a lot of editing in. That's for sure. And I'm excited for the weekend. I'm excited for Saturday and Sunday to hang out with Caleb on a weekend that I don't have to be at the hospital, and we get to just spend it with Avi. So yeah, I'll see you in some fashion tomorrow.
Strange weather, a time to be alive. Capital letters, with no end in sight. Close together, just feels right. In this strange weather, strange weather. There's always a prophet, always a lie, a faraway poem, a fragment of light, catching it and lost in my mind. On the threshold, leaning in, pages turn, we make up the end. There's a pattern, there's a friend, there's the pressure, heavy again. Strange weather, a time to be alive in capital letters with no end in sight. Close together, just feels right. Strange weather, strange weather.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Avi.
Wait.
Happy gotcha day to you.
All right.
Yeah, you're finding all the biscuits. Good girl. Oh, big fan. Boy. Okay, we love you. Happy gotcha day. Hi, hello. It's obviously Saturday evening now. We have had just a full fun day with Avi. It's been so nice. We took her out to one of the little like dog stores and we got her a bunch of biscuits, a bunch of new toys, came home and made that cake that you saw. She loved it so much. Took her on obviously quite a few long walks. And now after taking like an hour and a half or so to finish up some work for the day, which is like tomorrow's video, now it's like 7:30. We're actually getting ready to go sit on the porch and grill and just hang out, let Avi have some more outside time because she loves sitting on the porch. So we're gonna have some drinks, we're gonna grill out and just like be together as a family. I'm currently just seasoning the sweet potato fries. So these are gonna cook in the oven while we're grilling out there. A bunch of truffle salt. So much. But I was just thinking how funny it is that last week's reading vlog, after just now finishing editing it, there were so many books that I read last week. And this video has like nothing yet. And it's Saturday. I haven't read or finished really anything yet this week. But at the same time, I have to remind myself that I have worked 2 out of the, 4 days that I've been vlogging already. So like I really haven't had that much time. And 2 of those days, I also haven't had time to just sit down and read. I had to edit most of my day off yesterday with like 9 hours. I was on and off editing for tomorrow's video. And now today, obviously I'm spending time with my sweet baby girl. It's her day. So it's like, like it makes sense, but it is funny that I'm like having sort of whiplash because I finished so many books last week. And now this week I feel like I don't have any substance for you other than like, this is life. But that being said, like, I'm gonna go continue to live my life, and I am just excited to be able to share it with you guys. So the oven is preheating. I'm gonna bring Endling out there. I kind of doubt that I will read, honestly. Oh no, I'm not gonna bring Endling out there because I'm gonna bring my iPad out there and make the thumbnail for tomorrow's video. I'm gonna still work. But making a thumbnail is kind of like a passive thing. So I can still hang out with Caleb and Avi and make a thumbnail and it'll be fine. So that's what I'm gonna do. Mark my words. I really hope I'm not jinxing myself right now, but I will finish Endling at the very least tomorrow. Like hard goal, I will do that. I hope I will do that. But for now, I'm gonna go grill with Caleb and Avi and hang out outside because it's a beautiful fall night. So cheers.
Ready, sing a new tune. Weight of it all won't get me down. All that has been set free. Wind in my hair, sweet essence of me. Tell me secrets, power of words, tell me.
Hello. Happy Sunday. As I previously guessed, I haven't been vlogging much this weekend, but it has been a nice, full, wholesome weekend with Avi and Caleb. Avi loved the cake. She loved all the biscuits and the toys that we got her. We went on our hike this morning and it was just so nice. Whenever we do go on a hike on like early morning, we typically will stop at this bagel shop called Side Door Bagel and get the most brilliant bagel sandwiches. They're so good. And that's what we did. After the hike, we ordered it online and then it takes like a literal full hour until your order's ready. So we had a little bit of time and I did stop at the bookstore. Because I originally was just saying like, hey, Caleb, we need to stop. We need to stop at the bookstore. They're holding a copy of This Inevitable Ruin for me by Matt Dinneman. This is book 7. This is book 7. Seeing the skulls on the side here. He's been doing the amount of skulls for like what book it is in the series. And I just am so excited. I still have to read The Eye of the Bedlam Bride, which is the 6th one. I've just been putting it off because I just don't want to be caught up yet. But this is exciting because now I have another one after I finish that one, so I can then put this one off for a little bit and, you know, do this all over again. But this is moving into the small little book haul that I want to show you. Yes, I did just talk about 50 books in my last video, and I don't want to hear anything about it. There were some really good new releases that I had to buy, and then I did get some more of the Booker Prize books. So This Inevitable Ruin is obviously first on the list that I bought. I got 2 of the Booker Prize books. One of them was on the long list. This one didn't move forward to the short list, but I did get Misinterpretation by Ledia Zoga. Love this cover. Love it a lot. And even though the full synopsis does sound really, really interesting, what originally drew me to it was the quote on the front that says, absolutely gorgeous, taut as a thriller and lovely as a watercolor. Amazing. So I did pick this one up. I was excited to see it, and I love that it was in paperback because everything is now published in hardcover first. Typically. A lot of things are, I should say. The other Booker Prize is now on the short list, and it's the one that I wasn't necessarily super stoked about. So why did you buy it, Sydney? Because I do think that I could like it. I just, in comparison to all of the other books that were on the long list and short list, I don't know, it's just really long. It's really long. It's almost like 700 pages, but it is The Loneliness of Sonia and Sunny by Karen Desai. This is a book that I really do think that I could enjoy, and I am not surprised that it's on the Booker Prize short list just because of how it looks. It looks like it would be up for an award, in my opinion. But it is a spellbinding story of 2 young people whose fates intersect and diverge across continents and years, an epic of love and family, India and America, tradition and modernity. I don't know, if it's on the shortlist, it's obviously worth something, right? A snap decision, because I saw it for the first time in person, was Sweet Heat by Bolu Babalola. I'm so excited about it. This is a romance. I read Honey and Spice by Bolu Babalola. This is the other book. It's kind of a series. This is a sequel to it, actually. It has the same characters, and I'm actually honestly like so excited to read it because I loved Bolu Babalola's writing and I loved these characters so much. So, like, why wouldn't I continue and read it? So obviously I picked that up. And then another obviously I picked up We Love You Bunny by Mona Awad. If you know anything about me, I love Bunny with my entire heart. I'm so scared of this. I'm so scared of this book because this is a prequel to Bunny, and I just think, without me knowing anything going into We Love You Bunny, like whenever I think of Bunny, I think it's perfect. I love that book, and I'm so scared to read something else in the same exact world because I don't think that it needs it. And I hope I eat those words. I hope that I read this and I am absolutely obsessed with this just like I am with Bunny. I'm just worried that that won't be the case. I'm worried that something added to the world of Bunny will subtract from how much I love Bunny. You know what I mean? I'm worried about it. But of course I'm going to buy it. Of course I'm going to read it because it's one of my favorite books and I love Mona Awad. Oh my God. The next one, guys, you can't tell me that you would see this cover and not buy it. This was a cover buy. I don't know anything about it. Oh my God, but it's perfect. I'm so excited about it. Maybe I'll mood read it sometime soon. But it is The Macabre by Kosako Jackson. Look at this cover, please. Please look at this cover. I need to get my face out of the frame so that it focuses. I hope that you can see it. That's scary. And the dust jacket inside is actually like a coloring page. Do you see that? That's crazy. It says this is his adult fantasy debut, a standalone novel blending art history, time and globe hopping adventure, and dark horror fantasy about 10 cursed paintings and the lengths people will go to collect them, destroy them, or be destroyed. Honestly, I love when like art or something creative is involved in a plot line, and the fact that it's a horror is just very intriguing to me. I think that I could really love this. I really do. So I was excited about it. I really was. Oh, I really am excited about it. Like, I keep looking at it. I'm going to put it on top of the stack because maybe I'll read it soon. But this was a cutie little book haul. I was excited about all of them. It's funny. Maybe not for Caleb, but it was funny for me because when I walked in, I told Caleb that I was just going to pick up the Carl book. And then I walked out with 2 bags. He looked at the bags. He goes, I see you got a few more. But anyways, we are back home and I'm finally reading for the first time in days. For the first time in days, I'm finally picking up Endling, this book, and I am so close. Not really. I mean, I'm like 70% of the way through. I think I could finish it in like under 2 hours or so. Caleb is on the porch with his friend doing their weekly little cigar date. I have some quiet time to get some pages in, which is phenomenal. Very excited about it before I work again tomorrow. So big breaths. We can do it. We can do hard things. I'm on chapter 25. That's page 203. Typically, I could read this book in a day. Like, it's short enough to finish it in a day or at least 2 days for me. So the fact that I'm still reading this book is a little bit like upsetting, especially because I am enjoying it. Just life has been so busy and I'm not gonna sit here and like be upset that I haven't read so much this week because I have been filling my cup in other ways. So, you know, like, it is what it is. And I have been thinking about Endling a lot the last like 3 days that I haven't been able to pick it up, and I'm really excited to sit down and finish it today. It is like 4 p.m. now, so I, we'll probably finish it like tonight, but we're gonna do our best. We sure are. Because I said yesterday, mark my words, I'm going to finish this book today. And I mean it. I really, really mean it. I need to finish this book today. But I wanted to give you like a quick little update on it because it is going really well. Our main characters are Yeva, who is the maverick scientist. And then we have Nastia and Sol. And then our like side characters are all of the bachelors that are trapped in the back of the mobile lab as they are trying to make this like big political stance against these romance tours that are happening. And in this plot, as this is happening, the war between Russia and Ukraine begins, which is a crazy thing to be dropped into. And even more so because in this storyline, Maria Reva is like breaking the fourth wall, or at least like breaking the narrative and talking about like her editing and writing process with this book because she's from Ukraine. And there's a lot of discussion about continuing to write this book in this time as this is happening and how difficult that is on so many levels. And in the plot, like even though Yeva is living in this country that is actively being invaded and bombed, she is still trying to work with these snails, and she gets a little glimmer of hope and she's going for it. She is like doing anything she can in order to try to help Lefty, the snail that she's trying to not let go extinct, basically. And there's just like that little glimmer of hope that anyone in the world has to hold on to, and I think that it's really beautiful. I think that it's written really interestingly. It's pretty wacky because our 3 main characters are, kidnapping these men under these false pretenses of of telling them that they're going to take them to, you know, this like picnic or something in the woods, and they're going to find their true love there. And it's just sort of silly, but then it becomes very serious, and the atmosphere and mood switches are so like palpable. Like, I think Maria Reva is a really, really talented writer, and I'm just really looking forward to finishing. So that's the plan. I'm letting my hair dry because it actually got really warm during the hike. And then when we got home, we actually ended up decorating like the exterior of the house for Halloween, which is very fun. And then I showered and I read a few chapters before I came and updated you here. So I'm going to go do some reading sprints and really try to get as many pages as I can done while Caleb is occupied. Guys, we did it. We finished a book this week. Isn't that grand? I'm sitting over here because I got up for literally 3 minutes and Avi stole my seat. And I'm surely not going to move her. But as promised, I just finished Endling today, the same day. Do you believe it? I'm so glad I finished it today, but I'm more so just so happy that I decided to pick this book up and that it was on the Booker Prize list, because I don't know if I would have heard about it otherwise. One thing that I think is kind of funny that I decided to not do, which doesn't make sense, is look up the word Endling. Didn't know what it meant until I now finished the book. It's just a term used when talking about like the last thing in a species. Useful information. Throughout the story, we are learning a lot about like conservation and ecology and snails. There are so many worthwhile conversations happening within the structure of the story, starting with Yeva and her like identity, how she's choosing to live her life, and that sort of like relates to Lefty and the snail and like the term Endling. Like, you can get really like intricate with the themes that I think Maria Reva was trying to go for, all the way to like the broader scale of like war and exploitation. There are a lot of things within this plot that I think are sort of left untied, which I don't think is a wrong choice for a story like this. I mean, at its core, it's sort of like a wartime story just because of everything that we are talking about within the plot. This book also gets really meta. It is very meta, just like many of the other Booker Prize books that I've been reading this year. I think it's actually like really interesting. I don't know if I've read this many books that like the author will insert themselves into the narrative, or in some way it seems like the book can be interpreted in so many different ways. Like, I don't know if that's like a common choice of narrative within the Booker Prize or what, but that does make me want to like keep reading the choices. So I am happy that I bought a couple new ones today. I'm looking forward to continuing reading those titles, because even though I haven't found a 5-star, I don't think I have, no, they've been interesting and I've been enjoying like going through them. I think going back to Endling really quick, because I just kind of went on a little tangent, but like that is interesting, that like that form of storytelling has been very prevalent within many of the books that I've read for the Booker Prize this year. I think that's crazy. But back to this really quick, because we followed many people, many point of views, all the way down to Lefty. Lefty got a little point of view. It was cute. But so much of this book was very difficult to read. And I think it is very like open-ended in many ways, again, which I think is a really correct, I agree with how Maria Reva wrote this book. And the only thing that I think is stopping me from a 5-star is, the thing that I like about it is the meta-ness and the like insertion of herself within the story, and like kind of learning who certain point of view characters are, obviously without spoiling anything. Those parts where like things start clicking and really like making sense and tying things together, like those were my favorite parts of the story for sure. But the certain moments where we are getting taken out of the narrative and Maria Reva is going through like messages that she had with her editors about, like I said earlier, how her editors or people within the publishing industry were trying to tell her like maybe now's not the time to be talking about this, like maybe it's too on the nose, it's too soon. It definitely took me out of the story. I don't think that it flowed super nicely. However, like if I'm being honest, like it makes sense to include it, because the book that she originally set out to write had to completely change, because she started writing this before the war started to even happen, and then she just had to change course but continue to tell the story that she wanted to tell, which is super admirable, and I think she did a good job. Something didn't like flow and mesh completely well for me and my enjoyment. I also yes, life has been busy, but I also kind of think that if I was so like itchy to pick it up, I could have finished it before today. Like, realistically, I could have made time, or I could have stayed up super late one of these past nights and chipped away at it and finished it before today. So I think that that's telling a little bit of my thoughts and enjoyment of it as a whole. However, I still stand by enjoying it. I don't necessarily know where I'm going to stand with it. It's literally the cutest book ever. Look at it. I feel like it's like a 3.75 to a 4 is how I feel. I feel good with that range. It's definitely not, it's not less than a 3.5 at all. I think I'll probably end up with like a 4, but also maybe a 3.75 around there. All right. That feels right. But yeah, happy to have finished it, finally finished a book for this freaking vlog. Now Caleb and I are going to go make some Mediterranean chicken bowls with like cucumber, onion, feta cheese, and olives, and rice, and really good chicken. I'm really excited. And it's always so good. It's like one of my favorite meals. So we're gonna go cook that. Even though we only finished one book this video, that's okay. Sometimes it's about quality and not quantity. And this week was a quality week, you know? We spent a lot of quality time together. It was nice. Also gonna start reading some spooky season books that I literally can't wait for. So it's very exciting. Thank you so much for being here and hanging out with me for a little bit. If you are still here, then leave me the cloud emoji or the snail emoji down below in the comments. And while you're down there, please do subscribe and like the video. I always appreciate your support. And of course, be kind to one another and happy reading. I'll see you next time. Bye.